Welcome. As promised, I'm about to start a series on the entire flat earth design and how it works. So take it in, think about it, and share if you can. Everybody needs to know. The shape of Earth and its perpetual energy cycle via the sun, the plasma, and the magnetic vortex. There's one image, comes out of centre North Arctic. We cannot get to the dead centre here, it's called a place of inaccessibility. We can't get in there, that's it. It's beyond us. There's a magnetic vortex in here that runs the whole system. There's another image of it, a slice through it. Imagine that's like a bagel with a hole in the middle. That's it again here, centre. The magnetic fields of Earth are all created in here. Now the plasma, the sun is created, which drives the whole system. Some of you may have noticed what happens to dry ice when it's got a heat source above it. It'll just spiral up to it. And the centre of Earth, out of the tropics, we get this, like what I call an EMF. They get sucked in this way. But there's also cold being sucked into this hot. But it's the wind that drives the whole magnetic field. So the magnetic field coming out of the south comes to the tropics, gets pulled down because the counter force, the heat coming up, cold going down. There's always a counter force in our dual system. Earth is a dual system, everything within Earth is a duality. You should know that by now. So you get that, and it passes through the Earth and spirals around the vortex here into the sun, but also gets driven out on another angle, which creates spin around up into the central vortex and out into another direction to continuously create figure 8. So the magnetic field's coming up here, through the Earth, up through here, and you could say it's just coming up like this, down, doing the same thing, counter force pulling it up. Show my model. This is the model here. Basically the Holy Grail. So you've got a field coming up here, we'll go down there, through the ground, come up, spin around here, shoot out in another direction. You'll probably find that something to do with the rod and coil system, the way they coil their wiring. But they haven't completed the whole unit. You've just got one system. It's a dual system. You have to have this EMF in here. Tesla knew all about this. And everybody knew about the induction motor, the magnetic fields. It's that EMF. There's the free energy. That's the way the Earth works. Now looking down on Earth, looking down from the top, it looks like this. There's the centre north. Magnetic fields spiral out. The tight magnetic field in here. This is why this gets sucked in. It's the stronger field. You get some coming out here maybe, but what's in here mainly getting sucked in there. It's the magic that drives the sun. So centre north, this is the tropic region here, and then you have the southern system out here. The southern system spirals around. As this turns, it's reflecting the picture out here. All the stars out here are actually from that picture in there, in that vortex in here. This vortex turning 24/7. The Milky Way turns, it's on this slope, but it turns with the sun in it. The sun is tucked into the Milky Way like an egg in a nest and turns. That's your 24-hour day. That turns. And it sends a picture out here, and then you get a parabolic image out here. So you can draw as many of these as you like to give it a leaf look. The leaves, the petals on a flower, whatever you want. But this is pretty well to scale, except for this ring in the middle here. But this is what's happening. These wheels just are continuously going like this, seen from every direction, looking south at night. They're always there because it's a reflection from the centre. And see, there's the magnetic spiral like this, but if you complete the other opposite, you get this cardanoid. The two fields, the positive and negative. And you get get an image out here, but we don't see this part, do we? Because it's on the back of it's on the back side of the flat Earth. So we're seeing this in our horizon. If you can imagine that on your dome of horizon, you're standing in the middle. You see everything go across your horizon, like this. This is declination. This is the sun's seasonal changes going like this. It's coming from the centre here, but we don't see any of the centre. It's all out here. What is in here has been taken and put out here for us to see. That is now in our realm. This is our realm, not there. This is the same as that side. It's a donut. Goes right round. Just draw that there, and I'm drawing that there, but they're both the same because everything moves around. So because this vortex turns, the Milky Way turns, the sun turns. But we don't see anything in there. It's all from there. It's like the memory in the centre of your brain has become physical. And that's our realm. We all live out here. Sun in the centre is out here. There's the declination of the sun and the seasonal changes. We have to understand the pressure, magnetic field pressure, contraction and expansion. Contraction and expansion. It goes down, it gets popped out the south here. That's why we get the magnetic field out here with the sun manifested out here, way out here. And now December summer, solstice. And it pops back up, moves back up, comes back up to the northern solstice. It's closer to the centre. So when it pops out there, you'll get darkness around this area. And when it comes back up, you get darkness around these areas. Black hole of creation is in here. Can never get to it. Nothing out here affects us. That's for stars are for signs. It's all signs because the real business is happening back here. The energy is being expressed from here. The whole field, a toroidal field, is coming out of here all the time. Out, drawing our world. Imagine a movie and you're in it. You've been projected out here into this world. It's deep, but if you want to understand flat Earth, you've got to go deep. It's the spiritual side, what religion's all about. Whether you're religious or not. This is what it is. Centre here, tropical region, we have Orion's belt moving around here 24/7. Just done a video on that. The globe can't explain that. The sun's in here, everything's turning. The whole picture's turning. There's only one rotation. It turns one direction and everything goes with it. Not with the globe model, there's flipping things flying everywhere in all sorts of directions. It's just one system. And the sun in the centre is in the Milky Way. The sun is inside the Milky Way. The black hole is inside this Milky Way. And the sun sits on the horizon of the Milky Way. It's turning 24/7. So this whole picture in here is expressed out here, going right round our flat Earth. Goes right round. There's this rotation goes right up and starts from there. So this, whatever this is being brought out to here, expanded, blown up out to here. All the magic that's happening inside here, the flat Earth vortex, right in the centre here, has been expressed out here in our realm, where we see it. And everything we see has no effect. It's a second effect from the first. What happens here creates whatever happens out here. These are just signs, so we can understand what's happening. Problem is, no one understands. They believe they live on a spinning ball. east, our horizon. We see it come from the east and it shoots over us, depending on the season of declination. This way or this way. See it more this way? This would be, if this is south, this way. It's the southern summer solstice heading back this way. Otherwise, the other season will be shooting back on that side of your arc of horizon. We all have an arc of horizon. We are fractals of this whole image. We are within this, on one side of the earth. So you could say you have a toroidal field too, going off around you, which is your arc, which is your horizon. And then you even have a smaller one for your physical body. But the same thing. We're all fractals of Earth. We break it all down like a magnet. The other side of the vortex, unseen. So this is the other side of the vortex over here. Like the day side, if this is the night side. We're in night time. But we still, and then night time we'll see daytime. But this, you're getting this effect going on. And we know we can get a cardioid like that in your coffee cup. You face it towards north, the sun, and you'll get this cardioid going on. Because the sun, although you might see the sun around here, it's projected from here. Remember, it's projection. It works like a clock. Turns 24/7, 360 degrees. The clock, the sun, the Milky Way, turning. And because it sits inside the Milky Way, it's slipping ahead of the Milky Way stars, a fraction, 4 minutes a day. So at the end of the day, the stars over here are now, let's say 4 minutes represents 4 stars, a star a minute. Now the stars over here are going to appear 4. So we start with 1 star. So the next day there's now 4 stars. Because the sun, because it's shot ahead, it's exposed 3 more stars behind the first star we saw the night before. And this is where science thinks they live on a spinning ball and the stars are going this way. Because the sun's slipping in here, is creating more stars this way. So that it's shifting around, right? But it's not really, it's not shifting at all. It's just showing more stars back here. That's a biggie. Southern rotation is forever moving west around the northern central hemisphere of projection. This one here, the southern rotation. Yeah, this is shaped like this because of this shape here. From the tropics to the tropic across the donut is the one northern hemisphere. Say from there to there, that's the northern hemisphere, from there to there. Then you come downhill, that's flat-ish. Then you've got the curve here. There's no curve in here, the curve is out here. This is shorter than what's in here. And this is the true image. It's what you see in nature. If I draw a lot more of these lines, you'd see the petals. So that circle goes back into there. So you've got the circle here, you could draw the petals starting from back here. Centre of your flower. Orion's seen all night over flat Earth. All the way around here. All night. Until the sun catches up. Like I say, the sun is quicker, it catches up. And then it excuse me, laps the stars. And will hide them. It hides Orion's belt for 3 months. Then comes out again for another 9 months. It cannot be explained on a flat Earth. They give you astronomical measurements. It still doesn't fix the problem. They have 9 months and only 3 when it's not seen. Ask them for an animated picture of that model. This is God's zone. This is like a memory in the human brain. Memory can make physical. You can think of something, you can go and make it physical. Tree of life. All the ancients knew about the centre of Earth, tree of life. Ben Stone, whatever you want to call it, Mount Meru, God's zone. has been projected into our world. Thought becomes a reality. The unseen is made seen for signs. Nothing moves around the sun. Nothing moves quicker around the sun. The sun catches up to it. No planets go around the back of the sun. You'll understand all this in future videos. But if the sun's moving quicker than everything, how can it go around the back of the sun? How can it go around the sun? This is back in the center. This is a blown up version of what's in the center, right in the center here. This is a blown up. So you have to understand what's actually happening back in the center to get the pictures of what's happening in our realm, to understand it. So understanding it's moving quicker here, slipping ahead in the Milky Way, leaving the stars behind, showing more stars each night, making science think the stars have rushed ahead now. No. The sun going around, catch it. Here's a picture here. There's right in the center of the heart of the Milky Way, the black hole. There's the black hole. The sun moves around on its horizon. There's the Milky Way stars. All go in the same direction, see? But all the energy comes out of the center. It's the strongest energy is from the center. Everything out from it gets slower and slower and slower. All the planets further out, slower and slower. So the sun is turning, see? But it slips ahead that little bit and exposes more stars back here in the Milky Way. So let's say you saw that one the night before, because that slips ahead, you see a couple more. Doesn't mean the stars have come ahead, they're going the opposite direction, because you see more of them. No, that's how it works. There's the black hole, sun on the horizon. Daytime, the sun shines across the black hole, because the black hole is the amplifier. It's like a speaker. If you can imagine the sun back here as a speaker, not a bright hot plasma sun, but you have to understand how the sun is created, and that's in electrical engineering. Cross circuit, get a voltage, build up the pressure, get a voltage. It works the same. This is like the magnetic vortex in here. Under pressure, bang. You get the cross circuit, which is the Milky Way, and the voltage is the sun. Realise, as above, so below. What happens down here works in the system. Nothing is new under the sun. Everything has been revealed. It's all out there in the whatever you want to call it. God zone. This is how the sun spirals out and then comes back in. There's a carotenoid. Half moon, full moon. It's always out here at full moon. There's no apogee at full moon, but because we've got the ecliptic planes, you might see, let's say the sun's in the middle here, the core in the middle here. You might see the full moon here. You might see the full moon back here. So they're calling that perigee and apogee, but really, it's always out there. It's always out here. So it's fair enough saying apogee and perigee. You see closer, it's going to be a bigger moon, like a super moon down in your part of the world, wherever this tilt is, right? Apogee up here. It's going to look like a smaller, like we had here in New Zealand. We had the micro lunar eclipse, but back in June we had the super moon. It was huge. It's just further away. So you can imagine that, you know, the moon doing all these cycles, but it stamps out this pattern. I suppose they all do that because we don't see. I can't explain that. You got to just imagine how that works. Okay, science knows it works like that. What have we got here? Firmament, light spectrum, sun-made. Excuse me. But the sun like I said, this is like a speaker. It's an amplifier. There's no sun there. The sun is nowhere, but only seen on your arc of horizon. The sun is in many places, but only seen once in your arc of horizon. Wherever you go, it's always on your arc, your horizon. Everybody has their own horizon. That's where the sun is manifested, thanks to the firmament. All the different layers of the light spectrum are in this firmament. There's nothing outside, if you can imagine that. It's to connect with your eyeballs, inside your zone. Your black eye pupils are tuned to the black hole frequencies. And you're seeing all the frequencies manifested via the white light of the sun, which sits at the top. Well, the religious stories tell you Christ is sitting at the top. Christ is represented by the sun, or vice versa. The Milky Way stars are moving in the same direction as the sun and everything else. The sun moves faster, therefore arrives ahead of the stars outside of. The sun moves faster, therefore arrives ahead of the stars outside of it by 4 minutes to expose 4 minutes more of Milky Way stars. No last night's star is seen 4 minutes ahead of the now 4 extra minutes of new stars. No last night's star is seen 4 minutes ahead of the now. Not sure what I meant by that. But anyway, you've got 4 minutes of stars now at the back of it. So people think that the stars have moved ahead of the sun. But no. All the energy is from the centre. Nothing moves faster than the centre. It all comes out. Toroidal field, the toroidal field of Earth is like this. The infinity symbol, that's the way the system works. The energy field here. You've got an infinity system here, but overall you need to understand this model and how it goes over, back up, out here. Strong magnetic field inside here. Then comes out in another position, goes back, does the cycle again. At the end of the day, if you took quite a few of them, you end up with these figure eights all the way around here. Tesla knew alternating current, because basically the Earth is an alternating current, but because all the energy is there, it's all there. When we want to take it, it's DC. Then we have to convert it back to AC, don't we? Well, not all the time, but if you're going to use copper coils to take the atmosphere, energy from the atmosphere, connected with an earthing peg, that's DC. That's about it, everyone. The counter force. There's always a counter force. Positive, negative, up, down, high pressure, low pressure. So we've got the high pressure of the Arctics. There's the north. South, south, north, south. Okay? It's a donut. Donut. North, south, all the way around the perimeter. This is a slice. We've got high pressure coming out of the Arctics. High pressure with the low pressure here. These are the two magnetic fields. These are the opposites. Not north and south. They rush to the centre here. Science doesn't know this and they won't tell you. These two fields rush to the tropics. That's the attraction. So, but nothing is ever equilibrium. They're being driven by the counter forces, which drives the system, which is the alternating current. Otherwise DC will just hook up and then that'll be it. It's dead. This is the counter forces are always driving it. High pressure and low pressure, cold to hot, and vice versa. It's always rushing. Up there, this what happens here is happening over here too, right? But this is the declination of the seasons. Pressure comes up and in for the northern down and out like this for the southern solstice, December solstice. June solstice, it's the pumping action. Once a year, once a month for the moon, twice a day for the tides. Twice a day for the tides. You could say got twice the effect here for the moon because it comes out here, then goes back in. Pumping out, coming back in, out and in. This is the centre, just in here, okay? Equator region. Half cycle, equator. Earth is like a ring magnet. It works just like a ring magnet. You'll find in the centre around the ring here is the tropic region. It's coming out and pulled back through the centre here. Comes out, comes around, goes back down into there, and then comes out here again. If you want to understand a bit more of this, check out Ken Wheeler and his magnets and everything to do with magnets, magnetic fields. So that's the first video. There's going to be quite a few to try and explain the whole flat earth model. I'm going through everything. So that's the basics of how Earth works, what it looks like. Flat earthers have to understand the model